We're back on Reddit. This is Reddit Part 2. Reddit the sequel. Reddit the second part. What is something you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy? That's a good question. Let's see what people had to say about that. Having to poop, but no toilete in sight, and everywhere are people walking around, so you can't even go behind a bush or whatever and poop in the woods like a caveman. Some caveman has a story. 2 or 3 years ago, I was going to the cemetery where my uncle is buried, and on the way there, an average-looking woman, as in neither a homeless person nor someone who looks like they're poor, was walking a bit ahead of me to the same cemetery. So, the cemetery... Wait, you spelled cemetery 2 different ways, with like only 2 words between it. How did you... Okay. The cemetery wall is on our right side, so she goes through the gate, and I lose sight for 10 seconds or so. I turn right to go through the same gate, but the woman wasn't in front of me anymore. I look around, thinking this is one of those cliche ghost stories when I see her on my left side in the corner, pants down in a crouching position. I'm not sure exactly what she was doing, but yeah, remind me of it. Okay. What is the nicest compliment you've ever received? You know what, I'm in the mood to see some nice compliments. Let's see. This was when I might have been 8 or 9 years old. I used to do well in trivia and quizzing. Not insanely good, just good enough for people to notice. In our school, sometimes if a teacher was absent, a different teacher would used to fill in their classes, and these periods would be self-study or something boring. One of the teachers who knew about me used to call me to the front of the class and frequently asked me to be the quiz master and organise a mini trivia contest now. As an activity for that period, I can't speak English. I usually had some reference books where I used to source the questions. One day she asked me to host a trivia competition for my classmates, but I told her that I didn't have the book with me that day. In reply, she told me that I should be fine because at that point I would know more than that silly trivia book anyway. The confidence boost from that single line of random praise that I got. The confidence boost, that one single line of random praise that I got that day still helps me tackle life's problems one at a time. I can essentially trace my confidence in my abilities to that one sentence uttered by my teacher. I'm eternally grateful and thankful to her words from that day. So the compliment, trivia book, cool. An older friend of mine told me his daughter had a crush on me, and said he was glad because that meant she had a good taste and would find a good man when she grew up. I still think about it because although I was slightly uncomfortable, I knew that it must have been hard for him to say which to me made it that much more meaningful. I can read until I start recording something, and then I just can't read at all. Weird. What game, movie, or show do you wish you could experience for the first time again? Let's see. 2, that's a lot of comments. Come on, there has to be some good ones here. Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, don't know anything about that. Breaking Bad. Don't know anything about that. Skyrim. Don't know anything about that. The Simpsons. I love that show. I breezed through all 31 seasons within about 6 months, with it being the only thing I watched and did on the weekends. By far my favorite show ever. Okay, hold on. You watched all the Simpsons episodes within 6 months? Why? I don't know, that's something that you just watch it when it's on. Yep. Okay, you know what? Here. I'll probably get a lot of hate for this, but I'd choose Avengers Endgame. Second for me. I got so much feel, especially going crazy with Cap with the hammer, and the on your left scene when the portals. The experience was so cool too because it was the first showing on Thursday before it came out on Friday. The people were all big fans, yelling and clapping. I saw it again the very next day, I think, and I remember wishing I could be seeing it for the first time. I suppose that would make sense, yes. Would you stay 100% in your house for a year for 100,000? Has always been a hypothetical question. People who said yes. After the lockdown, would you still say yes? Let's see what people said about that. Hell yeah, COVID is no different from my life before COVID. I love being at home and doing nothing all day. No sarcasm, that would be a dream. Well, I mean, are you getting the how much was it? The 100,000 after or before? Because if you get it before and you get to use it during, then you can go on Amazon, whatever, and then entertain yourself that way. But if you have to stick with what you have for a whole year, then no. What screams aren't pretending to be rich? If you're holding the money, it isn't that much money. Yeah, that is true actually. If you're holding the money, it's not a lot of money. Why have I never thought about that? Whoa. Yeah, okay, I'm uploading that. That's whoa. If there was a $50,000 prize for successfully hiding a penny inside a house that would be searched by a team of 20 searchers for a 5-hour period, where would you hide it? I would glue it to the bottom of a door that doesn't scrape on the door. Are you allowed to do that? Now that's known, I'll just glue it to the top of the door. Nobody knows that trick. I'll probably take apart an appliance like a blender or a washing machine and hot glue it inside somewhere difficult to find. Then I would hide $100 worth of random pennies anywhere and everywhere I could. But then, that's stupid. Because there's nothing to differentiate between the penny they have to find and the pennies you scatter around. So if they find one of the pennies that you put around, then they'd just be like, okay, I found the penny. And then you'd say, haha, I hid a load of other pennies. And they'd be like, okay, well you're cheating then. Which 3 movies should absolutely everyone see? Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Guardians of the Galaxy, fair enough. Harry Potter, all of them, that's 8 movies. So you picked 10, so I'm downvoting that for you being stupid and not being able to count. Pan's Labyrinth, The Fifth Element, The Deer Hunter, and The Princess Bride, that's 4. You get a downvote because you can't count. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, and The Naked Gun. What about, the third Lord of the Rings? Why would you recommend the first 2 and then just not the last one? That's stupid. I'm giving you more than 3. I'm not even going to read them because you can't count. Godfather, Star Wars, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You put no commas in there, so I don't know what each one of them is. Is Godfather, Star Wars, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation all one thing? I don't know. Okay, so yeah, I guess that's it for r/AskReddit. It was definitely better than r/Gaelga, because I can understand it. I feel like that's probably a good place to start when you want to like something. So I guess that's it for me, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.